Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator in the series of videos that is all about handmade carpets, whether they are Persian or from around the world. I welcome you to our YouTube channel, and I hope you and your family are doing well. In this video, I want to also show you how I answered one of the questions that I got from a viewer of I believe he's a subscriber to our YouTube channel. And this is in regards to Persian rugs known as the Nain Persian rugs. I have several videos about them in our channel, and this is something that is more of a hobby of mine. I'm trying to make it interactive, where in addition to showcasing different types of carpets, whether it's Persian, Turkish, doesn't matter what they are. If they're handmade, I'm going to feature them, or at least I'm going to do my best. But I also try to make it a little bit interactive, where I open myself up to the viewers. So if you are someone that, for example, is looking at purchasing a rug, or if you own a rug, or if you, for example, inherited a piece and you got some questions, I answer them. And I've been getting a lot of emails, whether it is from people leaving questions in the comments section, or generally speaking, I always tell my clients and my viewers, if you have a carpet and you want information, look below in the description. You are going to see the link to a video where I talk about how I need you to send me the pictures, what type of pictures, the file size and all that. Then you can email them to me. That's the easiest thing I can do, and I have absolutely no problems getting back to you, and I try to do this in my spare time. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to briefly explain to you a little bit about the Nain Persian rugs. And then, as you can see here, there is a picture of our YouTube subscriber. We have Kurt. I believe he's from Germany, I think. He had emailed me a picture of a Nain rug that he was looking at buying. And he wanted to know if it's handmade, it's a used rug. But he had some general questions about it. And so I asked him for his permission, and he told me, yes, absolutely, Mike, I love your channel. Feel free to use my pictures, because again, apparently he watched the video. The link to it is in the description. So the pictures that he sent me was not only exactly what I needed, but he had also watched the other videos that I have, so he has learned how to measure the quality of these rugs. The Nain rugs are a little bit different than most other types of handmade carpets, and so, but he watched the video, he learned how to literally figure out himself what the quality of the carpet is. So he did not have to rely on the person who was selling them the carpet. And in his case, the person who's selling him the carpet, these are people that go, basically they buy up estates. The seller didn't even know what a Nain and what a Shishla apparently was. He had no idea. He was just selling them a rug. But Kurt, he saw the videos, he knew how to measure the qualities of the Nain rugs based on what I had shown him. And as I'm going to show you in a little bit with his pictures, he did such an amazing job that I was able to literally within seconds look at the pictures and say, yes, what you have there is a genuine Nain Persian rug. It's handmade. It's a Shishla quality. He also asked me about the price. I told him that is not something I do. And this is something that I've talked about time and time again. If you are asking me about a Persian rug or any type of handmade carpet, you're going to get an honest answer. But one thing that I cannot do, if I'm not fairly certain about the type of carpet you have, I will tell you that. I always recommend for folks also to contact others or get appraisals from a nearby carpet store or something if that's what they want to do. But when it comes to appraising rugs or valuating them, I need to see them in person. And because I do not generally deal in pre-owned used rugs, this is something I definitely do not feel comfortable in. Because, for example, where you are living is very probably different country than where I may be living. And so I'm just going to use an example. My family's in Germany. This is where I take the videos. My home is in Colorado. So if somebody were to say, well, Mike, how much is this carpet worth? I'm going to say, okay, well, you know what? The price of the carpet will be different in London than it will be in, for example, Hamburg, Germany, or in Colorado, where I'm at. Simply because cost of living, you also have taxes, you also have duties, you have transportation and cost of living. All of that has to be factored in. Otherwise, it would be like asking me, well, what's the price of a liter of gasoline? Well, if you go any country, anywhere in the world, one thing you'll know is that gasoline for your car, or petrol, as some people would call it, is different in every country. So, and the same thing goes with everything else. But again, having said that, I wanted to feature, this is something that I'm going to be doing more regularly, or more often, where I showcase literally viewers. Folks like you, I want to show you that yes, this is something I've been wanting to do from the start. I love YouTube, I like watching the videos, but I want to also make it a bit interactive. I want to give you as a viewer the chance to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, this guy's not just trying to sell a rug, he is also literally taking the time out to answer questions. And this is what this is all about. It's one of many videos where I answer questions. And so to basically get started, we're talking about in this video about the Nain Persian rugs. And if you were to look at a map of Iran, like I said, I made a lot of videos about them. Nain is in the central Iran. It's actually inside the province, the county of Isfahan, and it's nearby. Nain used to be the supplier, was best known for wool manufacturing until the 1950s. And they also provided a lot of the labor that went to Isfahan, that made the weavers that made the Isfahan carpets. Nain is a very small city. And it became, the carpets really started to take off starting about the 1950s. And one of the most famous Nain carpet weavers is a workshop known as Habibian. And this is extremely important because the Habibian name, the signature, is probably the most copied, I would like to say the word forged, name, signature in Persian carpets. There is the close-up of it. Now, I have other videos. I'm going to put the link in the descriptions that talks about the Nain rugs, the differences and qualities and everything. In this video, I want to just basically show you how I answered Kurt's question. But the signature is very important because it is not real. This is something that is added to a lot of the Nain carpets. The Habibian is almost like the Picasso. The name is so famous, it is so highly regarded that anyone in the world, you know, whether it's, like I said, I always tell people it's like a Picasso. The problem is, Mr. Habibian died, I believe, in the mid-1990s. And basically the rugs that he is famous for were made in the 70s, and then they kind of dwindled down in the 80s as he was getting of advanced age. But this is a new Nain rug. So if you were to meet the dealer and ask him, you can do your homework and you can ask him and say, hey, wait a minute, the brother's been dead for decades. How come the signature is still being used? The dealer will then come up with, most likely, a whole lot of bogus excuses. But the bottom line is, that signature is not real. And so the question that Kurt asked in his email was, here's a picture of the Nain rug that he was looking at. And as you can see here, in addition to the picture of the whole rug, he also sent me exactly what I needed. Multiple pictures of the rug, including one of the back, and he even showed me a picture of the actual fringe. He took the fringe. He actually was able to get a close-up that I really can't do with my camera, where he took the fringe apart, because a shishla, and this is how the Nain rugs are classified in terms of quality. The shishla means 6 yarn that make up one fringe. So if you were to zoom in, you take one fringe, if you were to cut it off, take it apart, you get 2 threads. Each thread is made up of 3 yarn. That's almost like, imagine taking 3 pieces of hair and rolling them together, and then taking the 2 and combining them, intertwining them, so you have 6 tiny threads. And that is how he was able to determine that, yes, he has a shishla, which is, shish is Farsi for 6, and he was also able to determine the KPSI. As you can see, he got the picture with the measuring tape. Now, I don't see the rug. He told me that based on what he saw the condition of the rug, and it was obviously used. As he pointed out, the rug is probably about 40, 50 years old. And he wanted to know, well, based on everything that I see, whether I would, acknowledge, I would confirm to him that it is a handmade, a genuine Nain rug. Remember, we're going to skip the signature. I honestly don't even know if the rug didn't even bother asking if it had one or not, because the chances of it being a Habibian is slim to none. They are so famous and they're so expensive. They're so valuable that if you were to find genuine pieces, they would be like basically inside a museum or something. So, but yeah, I told him, so based on everything that he has told me, this is a Nain. It is, you know, a shishla, everything is fine. And then he told me what he was going to be paying for it. And I told him, I said, yeah, it's fine. I have no problems with it. He knows it is used. He knows there are stains in it. He knows that there's some condition problems. But with all that in mind, I was able to answer his questions about the Nain rug. And I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly what I think nowadays, social media, like the YouTube videos, this is what I want. Yes, I could be like so many people. I could tell you, go to my website and pick out a rug you want, and we'll take your credit card or payment, whatever it is. And while obviously I'm a businessman, I help my family run our business here, and I have my obvious website. The point of this channel is to also make it so that I can open myself up to the public and say, look, I love dealing in rugs. This is a hobby. So in this video, like I said, I wanted to showcase the Nain rugs, and I specifically picked out this piece because it is similar. It's also a shishla, and it is similar in colors and design as to the one that Kurt has there. Normally, I then go and I will feature some of the details, but no, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that. For those of you that do wanna see the close-ups of this carpet, I'm gonna get behind the camera and I'm gonna do that. And then, so for those of you that are new to our channel, or if you enjoy Persian rugs, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We come out, I try to list about 1 or 2 videos a week, whether it is where I discuss new different things about Persian rugs or carpet, like I said, carpets from around the world. But I also take my time and try to answer some of the questions. So feel free to subscribe, visit us at our website at mprugs.com, and there's also the email link there where you can email me pictures or something. But before you do, again, as I mentioned, please watch the video below. In the description is the link that tells you what I need, because some folks send me the wrong pictures, or the pictures are so big or so small that they're basically useless. So with that in mind, I'm gonna now go back, do what I always do. I'm gonna show you some of the details of this rug, and then I'm gonna come back to you at the end and I'm gonna say my quick goodbyes. So here I am now with the close-ups of this beautiful piece. This is a typical Nain shishla. And most of these pieces, now the colors in this Nain rug, very traditional. They tend to be, as I always tell folks, blues, beige, and reds. Those are the 3 most common colors. But again, I'm just going to focus in on the signature. As you can see here, this is the Habibian signature. And you can see the amount of silk that is literally in the design. Wool tends to be better. When it comes to actually details, wool is better than silk. Silk is not your friend. And this is, a lot of this is actually silk. And on these fine Nain shishlas, you can also see this from, you know, like I said, you're looking at it from the light side. So it is shinier. And I'm just gonna show you right here. The best way for me to do this is, if you look at it here, you can see some of the silk, and you can see the whiteness of the silk. That is all the silk highlights. But if you want to see the contrast, if you look at it now, you're looking against the grain, the same silk highlights that you saw earlier, and you can see it right there. You can see all that silk. If you look at that same design the other way, into the dark side, you notice the silk almost like hides, goes away. And this is really the difference from light side and dark side. But like I said, this was, I picked out this piece right here because it was similar in design to the one that Kurt showed me that he was looking at buying. This is a shishla, which, as I mentioned to you earlier, I'm just gonna, there is that single thread. And this is as close as I can zoom in. This is made up of 6, there is my big ugly finger. There is 6 yarn, 3 yarn to a thread and 2 threads that are intertwined. And that is what you call a shishla. And shishla pieces can have anywhere from generally about 400 to 600, and some of them even have 700 kpsi. So if you put a ruler down and you measure the knots over 1 inch and then you square the number, like I said, I think you're looking at about I'm going to say right about 450 to 500 knots on this particular square piece. And like I said, I just wanted to show you the features of this particular piece. So I'm going to come back to you as I always do with my final words. Well, there's the video about our Nain rugs and Kurt's question about the one that he had. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I gave you all the details earlier. And so if you have any questions, let us know. Subscribe if you like, it helps us out. And so I'm going to be coming back to you with many more videos to come. I wish you and your family the very best. And until then, goodbye.